Hello, we are here at the Rivian factory in Normal, Illinois. Just picked up our Gen 2 dual motor large performance. Just got dropped off outside the factory after delivery, and we are gonna get driving to Denver. Pretty much 1,000 miles. No Tesla supercharger adapter. It arrives after delivery. I forgot about that. And so yeah, we'll just quickly go around the outside and then we'll get going because the weather is foul. They have their like Christmas tree with some Rivians and reindeer, and yeah, so let's get going. So this is the front. We did opt to get the license plate mounted on the front because we're from Colorado, so we're gonna need one anyway. They've redone it, so this is a new one and it's very tight to the body and shouldn't be in the camera or anything, our guide was telling us. So yeah, it looks good. And yeah, we are just going to be driving it in Colorado, so not too unhappy about that. And then one of the easiest ways to tell if you've got a Gen 2 is this light bar, right? Or if you're looking at a Gen 2. So actually that's a Gen 1 right there that just pulled up. You can see the light bar is like kind of flat and looks a bit like translucent and just one tone. And then the Gen 2 light bar is going to look like this, where it's a bit more chiseled, I guess is the word people have been using. And you've got this bottom section and this top section. So the bottom section is for your like lighting. And actually, I thought this was going to be flat, but you can stick your finger in there and it's actually like beveled on the front. So yeah, let's do a quick walk around because my hands are getting cold AF. So we got the all-terrain package. We just got the normal wheels because the dark outs are $1,000 extra and they equip them automatically, so make sure to unequip them if you don't want them. But these ones look pretty good. The gray on the center away from the chrome is definitely more of a like gunmetal. It's almost a blue. And then walking around this side, more of the same. And then on the back, so we got on the inside just the dark mountain with black mountain or whatever it is with the dark ash wood. Looks very nice. I do actually have a little sunglasses thing on the side. They're getting rid of these in the new ones, so you might not have it on the passenger side. The driver will still have it apparently. One other thing is people were asking like what is happening with the third row. So I have definitely seen third row with the cubby, and now we have this, so it is different. So what we have here is 2 cup holders, so that means the back row, it's the same on the other side, so that actually means the back row has the most cup holders out of any row in the Rivian. You got your USB-C charging port there, and then this is just one piece of leather, so it goes all the way down. It's kind of nice. I'm not sure, like cubby or no cubby, the charger is more easily accessible. You have 2 cup holders instead of 1, because before I think the cubby extended up to the second one, and then you could like flip it open and store stuff in there. So I'm not sure if this is better or worse. I haven't really decided. I do think like maybe a more like solid armrest and then 2 cup holders is a good trade-off, but yeah, not sure if it's like sort of cost cutting or not, but I don't actually think it's a bad trade-off. But yeah, we'll see in time. So yeah, we're all set to drive to Denver. It's going to be about 1,000 miles. So yeah, this middle row is pretty heavy. And then yeah, basically mint condition. We're going to get it all ruined, I guess, on the road trip with the slush and stuff. But yeah, looking good. And we're going to head out and plan our route and stuff with no Tesla supercharging. So we'll see how that goes. The guide was very nice and yeah, took us through things and we got this all sorted out. But yeah, there we go. Gen 2, white, dark mountain interior, all-terrain package, sports. Okay, so we've been messing around with the trip planner. I have to say it was not super intuitive, but we got the route that we want. So we're in Normal, Illinois now. We're gonna go up onto I-80, I believe it is, and go through Iowa, Nebraska, and then down into Colorado, Denver area. it's routing us through a lot of EV Go's, and then one Tesla with a Magic Dock, it looks like, and then this EV Connect might be like a little bit interesting. I think 140 kilowatts, 150 max, just seems like not that great. Maybe we'll see if we can change that later. But yeah, and so currently we're probably gonna drive an all-purpose standard height, no auto probably. We're at 370 miles of range. This is the max pack with the all-terrain wheels, 99%, and we'll see how the car goes.
Road conditions. Look at all the Amazon trucks.
There's so many Amazon trucks. Okay, so well, it's been 2.5 hours since we left. We stopped to get some food at a Hardee's, and we're now back on the road. The Rivian has switched to dark mode, and we have the accent lighting. We just have it set to white, and it is 14 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It's gone as low as 12. We have the heater cranked, which is obviously not helping our efficiency, and we have the seat heaters on, and we are both still quite chilly. So yeah, we've been monitoring the efficiency. We're getting around like as low as 1.6, sometimes up to 2. At the moment we're 1.7 for the past 15 minutes, and we've been doing the math. So it's pretty optimistic that we can get to EVgo with 24 miles, but I did the maths at 50%, and it's going to be close. So we will see. We're going to keep monitoring it. There is one Electrify America charger. Oh look, like there's one Electrify America charger before that has supercharging and stuff in Williamsburg, which is one stop before the EVgo that Rivian is recommending. So we will see. But going pretty good so far, other than it being a little bit chilly inside the cabin. So it's real dark now, and we've been driving for quite a while. We have taken this battery pack all the way from 100 to 18. Might go down a few more percentage points before we get to our charger stop. We changed from EVgo to Electrify America, which was one town before, like closer to us. We could have made it to the EVgo stop, but then we would have had to eat Subway. So that's like a big choice, I guess, when you're looking at charging stations, like what is at the charging station, especially if it's like going to be dinner time like now, like 6. So we opted to stop at an earlier one because we will have more choices, namely not Subway. It does mean we're arriving like a little bit higher than like you really could like pull in around 10% or even a bit lower and get like better charging speeds for a bit longer. But yeah, the other interesting thing is it's been preconditioning the battery, and like in summer you might be cooling the battery. Today it's actually been warming the battery. The battery was like 47 degrees and it is now 67, so it's gone up 20 degrees. It's trying to get to the middle here. So yeah, checked out the Electrify America app. Everything seems okay, so we'll try it out for the first time. Hopefully it's not a pain in 13 degrees Fahrenheit. But yeah, we're in 1.7 for the past 1.7 kilowatts per mile for the past 15 minutes, so not amazing, but I think we could have definitely still made it to the EVgo and really pulled in like nice and low and eaten Subway, but yeah, we decided against it. So check in when we get to the charger in like 6 minutes. Okay, so we're pulling into
your destination will be on the right.
Our first charging stop at this Casey's and this Landmark Grill and Grind. So yeah, we're gonna see what this is like. Okay, so we are now charging. We came in at 14% and I activated it through my EV Electrify America app. So it looks good. We'll check in a bit. So that did not take very long. We are limited by the charging station and only getting at 95 kilowatts. So we will probably switch to that station down there, but we're gonna give it like a couple more minutes. Yeah.
32.
But it's not limited by charging station.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Can it do more than 95? Oop. Oop.
No.
Okay, so we just finished dinner about 20 minutes ago, maybe. Car charged. We were basically stuck at 100 kilowatts, a little bit above, a little bit below the whole charge at EV Electrify America Classic. Now back on the road, and we're on I-80, so I was able to actually activate, I don't even know, auto driving. So not just adaptive cruise control, but also like centering in the lane and like stuff like that. So semi hands-free, but still like keeping an eye on it. Pretty good so far, but as far as I understand, it's just mapped roads and which is just highways basically. But yeah, it's doing a good job. When we first got on the road, our efficiency dropped down to 1.5 kilowatts, 1.5 miles per kilowatt, but we've crept back up to 1.7. Don't know if it was like wind or anything, but looking pretty good. Time is just before 8, 7:50, so we're not sure. Planning out a few stops. Our next charging stop is actually at like 50% battery, but there's a bit of a gap around like Des Moines, right? Yeah, so a bit of a gap around Des Moines, and then we'll charge up there, and then we'll charge through there. And I think, I don't know, we haven't decided whether we're going to keep going through the night or do a hotel somewhere, but we'll see. So yeah, everything's good so far. So quick check-in after a little while. We're almost up to 2 kilowatts per hour drafting behind this truck, which is good. And we did realize one thing. On the way to our first DC charging stop, we were like freezing our asses off. We had the AC on high, we had the like seat heaters on, and the internal cabin temperature was still only like 11 degrees Celsius, so not very high Fahrenheit, not quite a bit above freezing though, obviously. And the system was really struggling to put out heat. And now we realize that the battery temperature is now like, it was almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a little bit less now. And I think the system there's a lot more heat in the system, at least in the battery. So the heat pump is either not having to spend much like power heating the battery, or it's actually drawing heat from the battery. I don't think it can do that. Maybe it can. But yeah, basically the internal cabin temperature is now nice and toasty, whatever we set it to. So we're a lot more comfortable, and we just hit 2 miles per kilowatt for the last 15 minutes. So yeah, interesting anecdote. If you road tripping a Rivian in the cold, until you get to your first DC fast charger, it might be a little bit cold on the inside too. Coming into the next charging stop at 47%.
Oh, I see them.
So a little bit high, but it wants us to go deep into Nebraska to Lincoln on a charge, and we'll get there at like 18 miles left, so we'll actually probably buffer this a bit beyond. The route planner just says like 2.
Turn right. Then your destination will be on the left.
Oh, just like left, great. I think it said like 280 or something we'll do.
277.
Like, maybe a bit more than 280 miles. Okay, let's have a look. Maybe we'll go away from this guy because he might be...
Your destination is on the left.
He might be like using up. It might be split. Oh, sorry. Well, let's try this.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Nice, camera coming in handy. This cable might be a bit fun to work with.
Should be long enough.
Okay, let's put this bad boy in park. Open that. Right. Yeah, he's open. Okay, wish me luck. Charging
luck.
4. Yeah, I think the sound system gave me a headache. Sound system is a bit spicy.
It's a bit sharp.
Just for America, swipe to charge. And you have to wait to get that screen. Sometimes if you don't get that screen, it's not starting. Okay, so the screen is going. And this one is more expensive than where we did before. It was 36 cents a kilowatt. Now it's 42 here. Takes forever to initiate. Even from pressing, it's still going. Okay, now it says we're charging. Oh, now it says what percentage to charge it to, but it doesn't say that when you're on the road. Oh, let's see if we break the mythical 100 that the last one was.
No.
Stop that.
Maybe.
Yeah, there we go. And that's the highest charging we've
annoying.
seen on this vehicle so far. Crazy. So we are at 47%, which is usually where Rivians like to taper off like 200 kilowatts anyway. So we may not see better than 117 kilowatts. I don't know, we might, but yeah, like if you were charging your Rivian from like 10, around this point it would be coming down from 50%. So this is just a very odd charge that we're doing here basically, but it wants us to go like deep into, doesn't even say, what is this saying? This is where we are, right?
Yep.
So where we arrived. And is it gonna say? Oh, it actually does. So here's the Lincoln one. This like UI is very interesting, but it thinks we're gonna get in there with 18 miles left if we charge to 71 here. So we'll probably charge a bit more because it's cold. Could be headwinds or something. I don't really want to like play around with a buffer in the middle of the night, but yeah, so we'll just be chilling out here. There is a gas station and stuff, but pretty classic Electrify America installation with a US flag right over it, so I guess that's kind of patriotic. So we're in Iowa, I-80, and we were like, what the hell are all of these like red blinking lights in the night? And it turns out they're wind turbines. You just can't really see the wind turbines in the darkness. You can kind of see a few when we got closer, but yeah, in the distance they look crazy. Okay, so we decided to pull over at a hotel, and there is EV charging at the back, so we're gonna plug in and then go check in and then ask them to turn it on. I think we'll see how it goes. We came in at 7%, so pretty low, but we could have made it to the charging stop in Lincoln. But yeah, we wanted to sleep, so that's where we're at. Okay, so we're back out here on the morning of Friday the 13th, so hopefully nothing bad happens. We pulled up to this Best Western just outside of Lincoln, Nebraska, and stayed the night here. We pulled in at like midnight. We plugged in and checked in, and then asked the person to switch it on at the front. It was complimentary. You can see the front of the Rivian is pretty fucked from all the salt. But yeah, you see here, this we're actually the other one. We're number 2, but it worked great. We just plugged in and then went around and asked them to turn it on. Charging is 9.6 kilowatts per hour. So this big boy max battery pack, 140 kilowatts, is not full. I think he's going to be like 60, 65 maybe. We'll see when we get in. But basically we will get a decent amount of driving out of it, and then we'll have to stop and charge. So yeah, but yeah, that's the plan. And then we'll come into Denver, I don't know, sometime in the afternoon today probably. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're now pretty deep into Nebraska. We did a quick charge after getting coffee. I don't even remember where it was. It had a Phillips 66 and like some hotels, and we drove further down the road to get some coffee. Charging session was interesting. I don't remember what, we were pretty high percentage because it wanted us to charge there to get to this, the next stop is a Tesla Magic Dock, which is going to be kind of interesting. So yeah, we charged up to like 41%, and I think it was like 20 to 41%, and charging speed was a bit all over the place. We peaked at like 146, which is not that great. Then we went down, never went below 100, oscillated, went back up to 146 like a couple times, 130 most of the time I think, and then we got to 41%. Fairly fast, we went a little bit past, and then yeah, now we're just heading to this Tesla Magic Dock, and we're going to try out Runza on the way, who serve Runzas, so we will be having Runzas for lunch. Not too much else. Efficiency is pretty bad, 1.61. We are going to be going like up to Denver, I guess. Current elevation is like around 2,000, Denver is 5,000, so we'll see how that goes. I think we do have a tailwind though, but yeah, pretty rough efficiency. Okay, I believe we're at a Tesla Magic Dock now, so we're gonna see what this is like. We should just be able to plug in and charge. Okay. Oh, it smells very cow here. Oh my god. Okay, and now this, what do we do? No. How do I get the thing out? Oh, it's freezing. Aha!
Oh.
When are we?
What? 2D.
Oh, wait. Okay, we just have plug and charge. Let's see if this works.
Good.
What's it saying?
Starting. We'll see. Charging.
Oh, okay, sure. What are we doing? Charge to 53. And then afterwards we get to Electrify America in Ogalia at 18 miles.
Okay. I'm gonna eat our Renzos.
Okay, someone went a little bit wild and we're now pulling into this Electrify America charging spot that they wanted us to take at 4%. You can definitely kill the efficiency if you want to. We were like down at 1.25. But yeah, we're on 4%. The charger is in half a mile, so we should be totally fine. And then we might be at this one for a while. Classic Electrify America shenanigans. Like 1 is 150 kilowatts. Stall 4 is 50 kilowatts, and stalls 2 and 3 are 350. But like the app says derated, but people on PlugShare say that it worked fine. So really, like, who knows? But we'll see in a sec. Okay, so we actually passed into Colorado quite a little while ago now. So we have, I don't know, maybe 170 miles to go to Denver. We are actually wrapped up and like getting warm because I thought it was just like an intermittent issue with the battery being cold and starting on that other day, but once again we got into the car at that Walmart in, I don't remember the name, but we got in and the HVAC was just blowing cold no matter what we did. High, auto, not auto, recirculate, no recirculate, on and off, back row vents on. I checked for quite a few different like fixes on Reddit. Nothing worked and it was just blowing cold, so we just turned it off rather than having it blow cold air. And we have the seat heaters on and stuff like that, so bit of a shame. And like it is 28 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so pretty chilly, but it was working fine and even colder temperatures last night and today, so yeah, kind of weird. We'll probably like put in a service ticket or something for that. Either it's like a software issue and it's just like easy and might get fixed in an update, or it's maybe there's like an intermittent issue with our like heat pump, which would be weird, but I guess possible. But yeah, so we're wrapped up. We are going to have a quick charge at an Electrify America in Fort Morgan, and then we will be heading into Denver, and then we'll probably charge when we get there as well. So yeah, pretty good scenery. A little bit better than Nebraska, but this is the plains of Colorado, so still pretty much equivalent. And then we'll maybe see the mountains, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, who knows. Okay, so we're just coming into Fort Morgan in Colorado. We're going to charge for just only 15 minutes just to get us into Denver area. But yeah, Electrify America looks a bit less messed up than the last charger. We'll also see if it fixed the heating situation, because yesterday when we had this issue, we charged for a while and it fixed it, but we did actually get out of the car and have dinner and stuff, so maybe not, we'll see. And classic Colorado sunset in style. Okay, we're just finishing up. I mean, it was good once it started, but pretty horrendous to start charging session. Basically, we went to one station, plugged in both connectors, tried to activate Electrify America, whatever. It wasn't even recognizing on the station that we were plugged in, I think. So then we went to the second 350 kilowatt one, plugged in. That one recognized we were plugged in, but still had trouble activating the session. I couldn't through the app. Eventually, I did this thing where you tap for members below the credit card scanner. It's below, not the same one. And that worked, but like on the 5th try. So yeah, and then we had a decent charge, 200 kilowatts for quite a while. We just needed a little bit. We actually were sending a message to Rivian on the like climate control thing. So we got a lot of buffer. We went like a little bit over, but it was charging fast, so it was fine. We're now on the final leg to Denver. Yeah, and we'll see what the Rivian roadside person says in our chat. Hey, so we're back on the road, and we were just talking about a funny thing because we just went past 50%, right? And at 50%, the odometer, like the little like readout thing here, said we have both percentage and miles, but by default it just shows miles, right? So if you hadn't changed anything or you weren't like wanting the percentage and wanting to do the maths, right? At 50%, it said 188 miles left, and that's like completely wrong with this one down here. The trip planner is like way more pessimistic and accurate, but even then is a little bit like optimistic. So 50%, 188 miles. So if you double that, it thinks on a full charge that you could get 176 miles of range, which is absurd. And then if you do 176 divide by 140, which is the number of kilowatts in this battery pack, you get 2.69, basically 2.69. So Rivian like is kind of indicating to the user, or like suggesting that it thinks it can do 2.69 and do that many miles, 188 miles. But in reality, we are doing 1.8 now, and we've been as low as 1.25 today, I think. And we barely ever got to 2. Like, we have to be drafting behind a truck, basically. So like that miles meter there is effectively useless and borderline almost like terrible for like non-techie users. Like if very misleading. Like if a person who just hopped in and was just like believing what they saw, like that could get them like totally stranded. So I don't know like what Rivian think they're doing with that, but they should fix it. It should just be like the maths is not hard. We do it on our phones constantly because that's what you should be doing. It should just be the number of kilowatts you have left in your battery pack multiplied by your average kilowatts, miles per kilowatts, like that you've been doing for the past, I don't know, 15 minutes, half an hour. Do whatever like shortish time period you want. And also like even better, like look ahead on the road that they're driving, or if you have navigation and you know where they're going to be driving, you should be able to predict like the thing as well. But like even just a dumb prediction of like the past 15 minutes multiplied by the battery pack kilowatts remaining would be fine. Like that would be better than this. So yeah, like that's like one thing that's pretty silly. And yeah, and then they could do more. Like this one here should basically be like spot on. Like it is a lot better, but it's often a little bit optimistic. So that one needs to be tweaked as well. And that's like all the shit when they talk about like integrated with the like computer and not doing Android Auto. This stuff should be on point, like perfect. So yeah, one little like interesting rant, because it's just comical to see like the Rivian estimating our mileage on 2.69 kilowatts per mile, 2.69 miles per kilowatt, which is like absolutely unreal. Like I'm not sure if we would get that in summer with no wind, like a tailwind behind a truck. Like from what we've seen so far, it is like winter and the temperatures are very cold, but yeah, that would just be like pipe dream basically. So yeah, kind of interesting. But yeah, we'll keep going. We're almost home. So yeah, otherwise it's been fun. But yeah, climate control and like the prediction stuff pretty like clearly like need work, at least for our vehicle. So the last vestiges of the Colorado sunset, driving along 76. Lots of people coming out and lots of people going in. Em has just got her jacket on on front of her, like a blanket, and is wearing like a snuggie. You know, the blankets with sleeves on the front. So that's the situation here. I think the internal cabin temperature is, let me check, it's going to be in Celsius because I have my apps set up weird. Currently, let's refresh this. Currently the internal cabin temperature is 14 degrees, and we have tried like absolutely everything that we could find online to get the heat working. So we just got the seat heaters going, the handle warmer going, and we're just all snuggled up for the last little stretch here. Should hopefully be in about an hour or so. Okay, we're like definitely in the throes of Denver now, and we were in like stop-go traffic, and you can definitely see we're on like the efficiency is 2.36. So you can definitely see that, like, you know, wind resistance or air resistance is, you know, exponential, and you definitely eat it at like higher speeds. We were doing like some faster driving, and it did go down to overtake and catch up to a car. We did go down to like 1.25. So, and now we're stop go and we're at 2.37. So a whole extra mile. So it really does depend on like your speed, the like air around you, and like that sort of thing. It is very good in stop go though, because yeah, like you don't have much inefficiencies from stopping and starting as you would in like an ICE vehicle.